Discussion number 7, art in the real world. So part of what we were tasked with this week was to take an object or a thing that we encounter on a regular basis that is so common to us that we forget that it could be considered artwork. What I chose for this discussion were tombstones, specifically one located in Oconee Hill Cemetery in Athens. Based on the image that I found, I was not able to determine who it was that created the piece, who the tomb belonged to. All I was able to go off of was a black and white photo titled Cairn by Kevin Gray. So tombstones usually are something that we encounter, not necessarily regularly, but are pretty common. Either we drive by them or we have a loved one that we visit. So for this particular piece, what I chose is this particular tombstone. And the picture itself is horrible, and I'm sorry, but I did want to pick something that was here in Athens, should you have an interest in going to see it. So even though the image is horrible, the base of it is a granite tombstone, and around the edges has this elaborate carving that looks like a scalloped edge to it. There are 3 figures that are prominent on the base. 2 are sitting, and the one in the middle is standing. So of those figures, all are female. The women on the right and the left are sitting. The middle figure is standing. Because the middle figure is standing, that she becomes the focal point of the entire piece. The figure on the far left is, while she's sitting, is gazing heavenward. She has both hands open with the palms of her hands extended outward. The middle figure, like I've mentioned before, is standing, but she's also looking down. She has a stern yet determined face. Her hair is windswept. And she has her left hand outstretched down as if to either gesticulate or to help someone up. Her right hand is on the shoulder of the last person that's seated on the far right. This far right figure, even though she's sitting, she's gazing downward, but she's holding a cross, and the way that she's holding it is in her lap so that everyone can see it. Together, all 3 figures, both seated and standing, help to balance out the heavy base by creating an abstract cross. So the second piece of our assignment was tasked as to put ourselves into the artist's shoes, so to speak, to figure out where their mind was and what they were thinking when they created this piece. And my first instinct was that the artist was trying to come across as family above all else. Whether you're living or you're deceased, your family is the place that can offer you both protection and comfort, either here on this earth or after you've passed on. And I can acknowledge that tombstones were kind of a morbid thing for me to pick. However, I couldn't think of a better thing that, as we end our life, we put more thought into, is to, at least in my culture, have a tombstone that will emulate the person, their personality, and impart some sort of history of that individual for future people, for future legacies, so to speak. Art in the real world.